All right. So, we're here. Finally.
Yeah.
Took us a little bit, as it always does.
Right, I know.
No, it's funny. Even, whose was I doing? I mean, yeah, Leroy's. His took a second to get, because, I mean, his was a little more difficult because he's in Charlotte. So it was I had to catch him out here, and then he happened to hit me and was like, yo, I'm going to be in town for Dreamville. And then we did that celebrity game or whatever it was. And he was like, you want to do it after? And I was like, cool, perfect. But yeah, no, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Different setup. You're the first person with this setup.
And I'm honored because it's very cutesy.
Yeah, Backstage Conversation. I don't know what episode I'm on, I'll be honest. I think 28 sounds right, if you count audio. But yeah, what do you know about the podcast? As far as, I say podcast so loosely, because it's like... It gives
podcasts. To me, from what I saw CJ's episode,
mm-hmm.
A-Dub came up here. Mm-hmm. It seems real conversation. Just vibes.
Yeah.
I'm just getting vibes.
That's half of what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like there's so many podcasts, or people look for so many interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyler is a good example, like right now, as far as, I feel like every time he sits down, he's like, having to be interviewed, and it's not him getting to just
freely speak.
And so it was like when I did this in 2021, it was only audio because I didn't have a camera yet, which is crazy to think about.
That's insane.
But yeah, and it was like, the first few episodes I think I went too heavy on research because I was like, man, I'm searching. I spent like 3 or 4 hours.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was like, I was so worried about there being lack of conversation.
Okay, understandable.
So I was like, I need to fill the gap. So I was like, if there's an awkward moment, I'm like, all right, next thing. But as we've done it, it's been much easier.
People just vibe out.
All right, yeah. Nah, I'll bleep it out, I promise.
That was crazy. Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Shout out one of your relatives.
That is crazy.
Because the only thing I found for you was Facebook.
Yep.
That's like it. No Twitter, your Instagram.
I don't have Twitter. My Instagram is...
stops at a certain point.
Yep.
So I was like struggling, and I was like, damn. And then finding your Facebook was fucking hard. And then, one of your, I can't remember if it was an aunt or something, commented, and I guess it was before you changed to Azi Sazi.
Yeah.
But it still had...
my name.
It had your government on there, and I was like, finally.
Something.
Yeah, I was like something to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
I had script my social. Yep. It's
okay. I really don't have a set order for you, like I said, because you don't really have I know you went into the military.
I did.
And I feel like you coming out of the military, I feel like that's kind of when shit started for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So give me a brief backstory.
Okay.
Leading up. Are you from out here?
Yes, okay. I'm not from Raleigh.
Okay.
I'm from Runner Rapids, which is 252.
For sure.
Right near Virginia line.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm originally from there. I moved to Raleigh when I was in
out there now.
You said what?
Got a Wawa out
there. You know what I'm saying? We getting things.
I saw that when I was driving to Virginia, and I was like, oh wow.
They don't have any. It's nothing there.
Yeah.
The best thing is Walmart.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yep. That's how we had growing up too. We had a Walmart
really. And a Piggly Wiggly.
Ah, damn, we never had a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah,
we had a Roses.
Okay, that's country.
Yeah.
That's country.
But all right, yeah. So from Roanoke Rapids.
Yeah, from Roanoke Rapids, I ended up in Raleigh. I moved to Raleigh in middle school.
Okay.
So I've been here for a while. Yeah, so it's really, I don't, you know how some people, they're 4 years old and they still claim I'm from New York. It's I'm kind of from Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? I claim both. But I graduated high school at 16.
Impressive.
You know what I'm saying? Smart girl.
Girl.
From there, I went to Winston-Salem State for 2.5 years.
So you went to Winston-Salem State at 17?
Yeah. No, at 16.
At 16?
Yeah. I'm a summer baby. My birthday is June 30th, so...
I mean, still...
Graduated college at 16.
Wow.
Too young to be out there.
I believe that.
Too young to be out there. But I did 2.5 years. I was studying nursing. I wanted to be a nurse so bad.
Okay.
That did not work out for me.
I was going to be I thought I was going to be... I was like, oh, I'm good at math. I'll be an engineer. And then I got into engineering classes at State, and I was like, dude, I can't do this.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, nursing school was even the prerequisites was kind of hard, but I did that. Cool. I was a broke college student. My parents were both in the military, so I was like, I'm going to join the military. Went to the military, did about 3.5 years there. I lived in Texas.
That's the military direction is I feel like way more common out here.
It is.
And even towards like 252, like you said, and even, is Jacksonville 252?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacksonville is, yeah.
Same thing, where it's like I meet so many people from those areas are military. Or at least like their parents were.
Yeah, because it's just
Jacksonville, yeah.
A lot of them either don't have the means to go to school, can't afford to, or like, you know what I'm saying? It's really like a scheme, low-key is what I like to call it. They prey on like people like that, so.
They do. They come into those high schools.
Yeah.
Like, hey, yeah, you want to sign up for the military? We'll
free
give you
education.
This
like,
much.
yes, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, my dad was like, you go to the military, they'll give you some money. I'm like, you know what? Heavens, yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah, okay.
So I went.
Left Winston-Salem State. Okay. How was Winston?
Winston was lit. I made a lot of dope connections out there that I still have today. A lot of the people actually ended up in the creative community now, like, which I think is super dope.
Winston has even since then because I mean, what year did you leave Winston-Salem State?
2018.
Okay, so I left in 2014.
Oh wow,
and then came out here for school or whatever. But even when I was leaving, Winston was like starting to really get a roll on things. Because when I was growing up, I mean, I'm from the county adjacent, so we only went to Winston for like Haynes Mall.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Okay,
but now it's like, I mean, downtown is a thing now, more or less, and it's like. People there's actually shit to do now.
I was like, yeah, Winston's kind of cool. Even Winston-Salem State, because I went in 2016 and I was there 2016, 2018. Well, 2016 really to 2017, 18, like beginning of that year. But it was dope. Like the college itself was dope. Going to a HBCU was a really dope experience. I'm glad I got to experience that. It was super cool.
I'm trying to think, because that's the only HBCU out there, right?
In Winston, yeah. It's what's the other? Wake Forest is right down the street from Winston, but
private.
It's a whole different beast.
It's a whole different world. Okay, cool. So yeah, you come back, and then what's the gap from leaving school and going to military?
It's not really a gap.
There isn't?
No, it's just like I did try school a few times. So like I took a semester off, went back, and then I was just like, I'm going to the military.
It's not working. Okay,
yeah, so I went to the military. There wasn't really a gap in between that though. It was like, cool, got out of school in June, was in the military in August.
Okay. All right. So we're in the military.
We're in the military.
How long? You did
3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yep.
Okay. Where were you at?
I was
Wichita?
No. Well, yeah. I was in San Antonio, Texas at first.
Fuck that. It's hot.
It was kind of cool. I like San Antonio over Wichita.
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, but Wichita.
It's
Wichita.
Kansas.
Yeah.
I don't know why they sent me there.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to Florida when I saw my orders, because you find out your orders when you get like out of training and stuff.
Okay.
So I saw my orders. There's a base in Florida called McGill.
Okay.
I could have sworn that's where I was going. That they were like, no, you're going to Kansas, girl. Like, I was heartbroken. And I didn't go anywhere else. That's the only place I went the whole time I was there.
Huh.
Sucky.
Yeah.
Very sucky.
My half-sister went to military. I think she did San Diego.
Oh, that's
which
that's pretty cool.
Which I've heard is fairly common.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry.
That ain't, yeah, Kansas. They won't feel me.
So, you're in the military. Mm-hmm. And then Khalees, right?
Yep. Then I have my daughter.
Okay. So then, talk about that, like, transitional out of it, I guess. Because I feel like, yeah, because you have decisions to make.
You do have decisions to make. So when you have a child in the military, they give you a year to decide. I milked the entire year. The whole year.
Because you get paid the whole year, right?
You get paid the entire year. So I was like, cool, I'm going to decide the very last. I already knew I was getting out, but I was just going to keep getting paid as long as I can.
Okay.
So I stayed that whole year. The very last day that I could, I was like, I'm getting out. Give me my papers, stamp me out. Cool. They when you get out the military, they basically go through this whole process about like your benefits and like school and jobs and all of these things. I'm just like, just get me out of here. I'll figure it out when I get out. But you have to go through all these programs and stuff. They do try to prepare you for the outside world.
Okay.
I did all my VA stuff, and then I sent my daughter back home for like 2 months while I out-processed everything. And I out-processed. And then I got paid an extra like 2 months of leave because I had leave days stacked up. So the military paid me full pay for like 2 extra months when I got out.
Hell yeah.
Came back to Raleigh.
Okay, so you land in Raleigh.
I'm back here.
What do you do? That's my thing, because it's like I said, when you got out of the military, I feel like that was where everything
That's where everything started. Mm-hmm. But there was a gap.
Okay.
There was definitely a gap.
I'm trying to think. Before we go to things. Okay, good. We're still keep going. All
we're good?
Yeah, we're good. So what? So Khalees is like 2020, right? Ish.
She was born in 2020, yes.
Okay. Damn, okay, so
she was a COVID baby.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
The first 3 months of her life, I did not leave the house except for a doctor's appointment.
That's crazy.
Not one time. We just went outside for air. I never took her anywhere, not the store.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
Yeah, I feel like it's a whole different level too, especially in those early months because there was so much information getting tossed
around. So much information. Nobody knew what was real and what wasn't real. There was no didn't even know what. I was confused about all of that, but I didn't leave my house. For 3 months when I had my daughter.
Okay, so
that was different.
When did you start getting into the events?
It was a gap. So when I got out of the military, right, boom, came back, tried to pursue nursing again.
Oh, really? Okay.
I tried again. I did try again. I went to CNA school. I worked at a nursing home for a little bit.
How was that? I've heard not fun things.
Okay.
I've heard it's hit or miss. Like, there's very good moments where it's, like, very wholesome and things like that. But then there's other moments where you're just like...
Yes. Old people are like babies.
Yeah.
They're like babies. And I had a lot of my patients that I really love. But it's so hard. Like, you would... get cool with a patient coming to work and they're gone. It's like, dang, this is traumatic for me. That was a lot. And they don't pay a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing a lot of work for a very minuscule amount of money.
And what are your shifts like? Like
10-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts. Wiping butts and it's a lot.
Okay. So you try that.
Try that.
Come back.
I was in the healthcare field in a revolving loop for a year, 2 years, honestly and truly. Nothing with events. I tried to sing a little bit.
I remember that. Hang on. What do I have?
Yeah,
I had something.
let me see.
Dang, I done wrote it down somewhere that I can't.
That's crazy.
Decipher. Did I change it? Damn, yeah. Because I found your stuff on Songwriter, and you have nothing on there.
I don't.
It literally was just your info. You're like, I'm Azi Sazi. I write for contemporary and R&B.
Yeah.
Did you ever get anything off of it?
No. No, I never did. I did have people reach out to... I was actually going the artist route when I first got into this. I wanted to be a singer. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be a songwriter. I was really good at writing music. I don't necessarily have that skill as well as I used to because I haven't been utilizing it. But
it's a practice thing for sure.
When I first started, I was really good at it. I have a song with For Very Cal. He's one of my artists.
4 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I had him.
He never dropped it.
Okay, well, because he was my first notion of you doing the not being an artist.
Start.
Yeah, because he said he asked you to be his manager, right?
I asked him.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was so random.
You're like, hey.
I was this is when I was in the loop of healthcare. Okay. Right? I'm sitting at the office. I was he always was sending his music because he trusts my judgment. Fair. Right? I was just just let me manage you. I feel like I could do it. And then that jump started everything.
Okay.
From there, that's where everything started.
So you started managing him?
Yep. From there, we set up our first event.
Was that... Hang on.
I used to have this showcase series.
Is that For the Bod?
Yeah. See, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Like I said, dude, man, Facebook was not helping me. You post a lot on Facebook. Or you did.
At one point.
You just be talking on there.
I just be talking on there. I look, it's for family and friends.
I know. I saw some. I was scrolling through, and I usually try to find pictures first, because usually the pictures attached to something specific.
Yeah.
And so it's just a train effect. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then I was going through, and all your pictures were saying, but it was all just tweets. Or no, basically, you're basically using it like Twitter. And I was like,
anyway.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So you start managing him. You do. How does the jump from managing to be I want to do an event?
So my line of thinking was, okay, I have this artist. I don't have pull. He doesn't have pull. Neither one of us know nobody really. I need to do something to solidify and stamp him in this community, right? For the Vibes came from four. That was my line of thinking. For the Vibes. That was his name, For. And then I did the first showcase, right? That was at House of Art. And that
really?
Yeah.
So is that how everything else?
Everything just kind of spin into, right? But also too, around the same time, I got introduced. I was talking to Tay, Yessa. Introduced me. Yessa is the person that introduced me into House of Art. Okay. Which got me sent into the creative community. And it's always kind of going at the same time, right? So it's I'm just starting to manage for Yessa's introducing me to House of Art. I ended up meeting security guard Tay. Tay became really close at one point, so now I'm intertwining the creative stage a little bit, right? And I'm still not all the way in there, but I have met Yonder, right? Yeah. So I did a couple open mics with Yonder singing. So not
really?
Yeah, I've sung with Yonder before. Sounds actually. Okay. And it's fun. I really like singing them actually, but I started off doing that as an artist route. Now I'm managing Ford. Now we're planning this event and all intertwined. Then I get introduced into the owner of House of Art. From there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's my first showcase. Everybody was on that lineup. I'm talking about everybody. Christian Moon, Brooklyn Rose, CJ. Yeah, so it was there. Yeah.
Where's Brooklyn?
Where is she?
I thought about that the other day.
She's so awesome.
I know. I thought about that the other day because when I first started working with Les, she was on that Chasing the Sun project, and that was my first introduction to her.
Yeah, she's so fire.
Yeah, I don't know. I know she wasn't a fan of the life.
Yeah.
But all right. Black and white. I hate submitting black and white film takes so long.
Really?
Yeah, it always takes longer to get back. So hopefully those are fine. But okay, so yeah, so what year are we in?
We're in 2023 now.
Really?
Yeah, 2023. Because that's
so there's like 3 years. Well, I mean, your first year is pretty much dedicated to nothing, but you're in COVID raising a child.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was still in the military in that year. So the 2020, I was in the military. 2020
that's right.
Yeah.
So you didn't even officially leave until 2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I get back here, and I had like basically 2 years of just looping myself, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I was just like, this like isn't really meant for me. I'm working in the healthcare. I get introduced to Flora, Yessa. Like, and me and Yessa had already been friends since high school.
For sure.
I knew him, but he just introduced me into the community.
It's like it's almost like getting reintroduced to everybody.
Literally, yeah. Literally, yeah. So all of that, boom, do my first event. I'm just like, okay, cool. And then I told the owner of House where I'm like, if you ever need bartenders, let me know. That helped too, because now I'm pushing. Yeah. Like I'm pushing myself, and I already did my first event. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this again. And I just started meeting people, networking. I love the people.
That's like the biggest thing I quit whatever I was doing in downtown for like 6-7 years. They sold. I was like, no, you can stay on with the new people. And I was like, no, I'm good. So then I did that for like 6 months and did just my own stuff. Mm-hmm. And then when I was like, all right, you need some money coming in, something, I was like, I didn't want to work for a corporate necessarily or all the shop. Yeah, just do it. But even aside from that, I was like, I know I need something where I could still meet people.
Exactly.
And like still somehow be able to build a relationship that's not me trying to sell them shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what ended up where I'm at now. But it's like I'm still in the vicinity of I get to meet people coming in and get to have conversation that you can't have in an office job.
Yeah. It's like you're in a cubicle.
Yeah, and it's like I'm still working my job. Yes, I'm still doing pay, but it's like I still have that ability to meet all these people, like especially bartending.
It's so like
it's so
you're introduced to so many people.
Okay, let me slow down because god dang, because that was the biggest thing. I was like, I didn't have any pre, so I was like, everything is all my stuff starts at 2023. Mm-hmm. Which we got 2 years, so we're good. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's your love for Broadway? What is this?
I used to. Okay. Funny story.
You're not the only person I've seen talking about this.
So I was going through like this really rough emotional time, right? This was back when I was in the healthcare facility. I was working at Amazon for a little bit too. I know.
Amazon be working.
I'm talking about I've had a lot of random little jobs during that time period. But when I was working at Amazon, I got introduced to Raleigh. But I was like, he is hitting right now. He gets me. He sees me. I would just listen to him straight. But then I was like, I'm low-key depressed. Like, and I'm getting more sad listening in.
No, I don't know what it is. I was like, I know a few songs, but then I've seen so many people who recently been like, man, Broadway. I'm like, damn, is there really?
Yeah, cool artists. Okay. For sure. But it's very sad. If you're already sad, it's not.
I saw other ones. Oh, I had, this might not even hit, The Watermelon Man.
The Watermelon Man? That's my uncle. Okay. So my uncle sells watermelon.
That's what I thought.
He's super dope.
Okay. Yeah. And it's just, his name's just The Watermelon Man.
The Watermelon Man, yeah.
Is he the one,
He's not the one that's here.
Okay, that was my
That's question. The Watermelon Lady.
Okay.
You know? That's the Watermelon Lady.
Because that was a big thing I remember, because she had, the white watermelon?
Yeah, she had, like, white, I think orange, yellow, cantaloupe, mango. She has all the exotic fruit.
Because she's over there on the way to Wake Med, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, she's right across the street for it. I know. But it works for her.
Yeah.
It works
that's, like, the perfect area for it, and just, like, to be able to stop and pull off real quick. Okay, yeah.
Uncle. Be cool. Shout out to Unc.
I'm trying to like play into some of the stuff before we get to the new stuff, because I feel like the new stuff is a lot.
It's so much.
Trying to think. Oh yeah, my Honda's a Hellcat. That's what I kept seeing that all the time. You're like, I drive my Honda like a Hellcat.
I do. I need to stop doing that. Actually,
you got speed demons?
I have had in the past when I was younger. I used to be a speed demon. I have a child now. I'm a responsible guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't speed anymore. Really?
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so we're in 2023.
We're here.
We're gonna break it up a little bit as far as you're gonna keep the timeline though.
Okay.
So talk about actually, you know what? Keep going. So we're 2023. We do For the Vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You become kind of intertwined with the House of Art stuff, and things like that. So what blossoms out of that? Because you're like, I have a space.
I have space. It made it a lot easier.
Because that's the hardest thing about people who try to throw events. The hardest thing ever is finding the space.
It's so hard.
And finding someone who's willing to work with you.
To allow you to use it.
Because everybody's like, all right, yeah, you and me, this much.
I know. I was about to say it becomes very expensive quick. It's very hard to sustain, especially for like, we're not rich. We don't have millions of dollars just sitting around. So it's very hard to sustain when you don't have capital behind you or don't have somebody who's willing to support you. So that is something that I'm super grateful for because it did streamline a lot of the things that I'm doing, right? So my biggest goal with all of this as well was always community, right? Like, that was just my baseline. I'm just like, I wanna build a dope community around this, right? So For the Vibes kind of streamlined that community, and I was able to like develop a lot of cool relationships with people and just keep utilizing them, right? Like it's just like, oh, I want to do a show. Let me just call so and so. Like, can we just, you know what I'm saying? Or I need vendors. I made this connection from the person.
Vendors hard
to find. Good vendors to work with, like food especially. Now I'm having you. It was just like, it was super dope to kind of streamline myself into that. Having a space did make it a lot easier though. Because I could just put myself in it.
And having having a space that was...
It was a dope space.
Yeah, a good space. I'm still the inside. I never was sold on the inside of it. It's just so tight, man. It was so tight.
No fact.
Because the moment it rained and you had to go inside...
It's like, now everybody's uncomfortable.
Everybody's staying in the doorway.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, yeah.
That was my only issue with it. But the outside, though. As long as the outside, good.
Yeah.
And having a space where you were still able to bring food in kind of thing. Because I feel like there's so many spaces like Kings and stuff like that. There's nowhere to put
food at,
even if you had it like outside, like that's your only thing. Which now the dive is downstairs, so that's huge helpful because they do food.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that was the biggest thing because it's like, especially it's one thing to get people there. It's how do I keep people here?
Yeah. How do I make people want to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like the more you get hungry, it's like, all right, well,
I'm about to leave.
Go eat. But okay, yeah. So House of Art, we're building. What was the moment? Was there ever a moment where you were like, shit's hitting right now?
Yeah, I had a few of those, right? So it's just like when I started bartending, I don't know, everything really was just super intertwined with each other. But when I started bartending, I was doing really well, right? And they were like, do you want to be the manager? I'm like, yes. Like, I would quit my job tomorrow. Like,
okay, so
I was still kind of working. Yeah, I was still, when I had first started bartending, because before that I was bartending at Bar Taco, right?
Which one?
We skipped the set in Chapel Hill.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, we skipped it. I skipped that part.
Where were you staying at, though?
So I was living in Garner.
Okay, so...
Working in Raleigh.
Still not close to Chapel Hill.
No. Working in Raleigh. Bartending at Chapel Hill after I would work in Raleigh some days or on the weekends. It was too much.
Dang, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It was too much going on. And I was like, if y'all need a bartender, let me know, right? I literally had just learned how to bartend like 2 months ago. And they were like, yeah, come on. So I started bartending. I started doing great. They asked me to manage. Just kind of everything shifted too, because it's like, okay, cool. Now I have the venue space. Now I'm like, I can put things on the schedule. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have more hand in. Not necessarily, control's not the right word, but you have more of like...
hand in it, you know? So super dope.
Damn, yeah. Dude, yeah, kudos to you for bartending. That one little brief stint where you were like, yeah, you want bartending? I was like, yeah, sure. I did 2 shifts, and I was like, nah.
This is too much.
Well, yeah, and I think what got me was the late night thing, because I had already done the pizzeria till, close at 3 turns into 4:30.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're quick.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of, so after I did that in college, I was like, But, and also the mixology, I think is what gets me, where I'm like,
this is delish.
Unless you give me a GG.
The whole time.
The whole time. But, yes, I think that was the tier for me. But yeah, I did like those 2 shifts, and I was like, yeah, not for me.
I feel that.
Okay, so we're probably, 2023, 2024?
2023, 2024, yep.
Okay.
I was about to say, I quit my job in 2023. I've been a full-time entrepreneur since then.
Okay, so where does Azi Sazi Entertainment come in?
Azi Sazi Entertainment kind of comes along the realm of For the Vibes. A lot of that was rebranding, right? Or a lot of that was turning what? So, well, turn it into something because it stemmed from S for the Vibes. Then I get Sazi. Mind you, I didn't start off this Sazi. Yeah. When I first came into the creative world, I was Micah for Meats. Okay. I was Micah for Meat. And then I came up with Sazi, right? But that was also, I'm still at the office when I'm doing all of this. I'm getting into the creative world. So it's like, soon as I got in the creative world, Sazi hit. It's like, I got the name. It's almost like I got the name and got everything started working at the same time. So I was able to be known as Sazi. Like, there was no confusion or nothing about it. Boom. Then I started bartending. I started doing all the things. I come up with the drink. Now, the drink was inspired by this bartender named Jacob. You know Jacob? Do you remember him?
I don't think I do. Let me double check this. Okay, so Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. So I went to Watson Word. Okay, yeah. I like tequila. So I was like, make me a tequila drink. He made me a drink with like palm and agave. I was like, this is good. Okay. This is good. So it inspired Azi Sazi, right? Okay. Because Azi Sazi is a pomegranate-based drink, but like I added some other ingredients to it to make it, my little spin. And it's like, but he inspired that. And then the Azi, it just rhymed. Okay. It don't really have a meaning. It's just sounding cool. Okay. So then that became the brand. Like, okay. I just became the brand Azi Sazi. I was trying to be a label at one point.
I feel like when I first met you, that was, I think, the initial.
It was going like label route almost. And then I was like, I don't know. And then For the Vibes was like, it could just be under Azi Sazi. Like, it was just a lot of like me trying to figure out what made the most sense. You know what I'm saying? With not putting myself all over the place.
It's because it's like you want to create an entity so that you can kind of umbrella everything.
Exactly, yeah.
And it makes things easier come tax season. Yeah. When you have everything under something and not just out of your pocket. Yep. Because that's like the biggest thing for me, where it's like, it does suck because it costs money every year to like the fact that I have to pay $200 every year to tell the government that I still exist. Just baffles me. Every time I go bewildering. To pay it. They're like, yeah, you owe $200 to keep, basically to say, yeah, you still are an existing company. And I'm like, oh, cool. Even if I made no money that year, in theory, just to keep the name. But it makes life a little so much easier on the back end.
So much easier.
And then when it comes to like business insurance and things like that, it's just a little easier too. But okay, so Azi Sazi Entertainment becomes this entity that you start working under. So how do you branch from there?
So I have Azi Sazi, that was the base. I have the artist too. And the crazy thing is, after I started managing for, I got like, I don't want to say popping. That sounds cringy, but like I got I was very consistent, is what I say.
Well, the motion.
I got motion. What
happens is when you start spending time in these communities and like, because I was even talking with Ruben about this, where he's kind of been off to the side a little bit, but it's like, he goes, the moment I step back into it,
just
he says you're all around it, and he said it feeds off everybody feeds off you, and you become more of a shop. It's easier to stay on I hate using the word relevant, but you end up staying more on people's minds because you're doing it.
You're doing it, yeah. So it's just like, once I started managing I've managed quite a few people. I managed Yonder for a little bit. Okay. I managed Yalik for a little bit. I had MB Loaded for a little bit. I have Lexia still, but she's like on a hiatus right now for music. G Fergs. I managed all of these people at one point. So I'm like, I have the people. I was working with Khalil and Nate. They've been down from the beginning. They're such good, they're such good guys. But they were looking out for me from the beginning. Like, Nate's DJ thing we all kind of started around the same time doing that. So it's just like, I have all of these people. I'm like, they're under this entity. Where can we go from here, right? Like, how do I help each person individually, and how do we help each other as an entity? We started doing events as like group events and things like that. That's where a lot of the showcases came in. Yeah, that's really how it went. It's just, we just kept evolving,
Because I feel like when you get in those, especially when it comes to event curation, to an extent where it's like, it's like, not that you can't stop. Because once you
gotta keep going.
Yeah, and even if you just change the name or something like that, it's just like, you have to keep some form of it, because there's someone else that's doing something the next week kind of thing. Okay. So we're 2024 already?
Yep.
Basically.
We're back.
Okay.
2024 was the best run for Sazi. Like, that was an amazing run.
Talk about that then.
Great. The summer, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because what started off the summer?
Like, what did start off? I feel like Friends and Family had an event before SaziFest.
Have they been going that long?
Friends and Family started at House of Art, and like, I don't want to say it wrong. I want to say it was January last year. Yeah.
Huh. Dang.
Yeah, their first event was at House of Art.
Okay, I didn't realize they've been doing it that long.
Yeah, okay. they've been doing it. Shout out to Damien. I really like their like branding and everything they got going on. They're doing their big one, but yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
Okay.
So friends and family parties were a thing, right? And mind you, I'm now at this point, I'm kind of like running things at House of Art. So I'm controlling the schedule. I'm putting all these, I'm like, we're going to turn the summer up. Like, I'm like, yeah, we about to turn up this summer. So we got Damien on the schedule. And then we collaborated on a cookout with the Slim Creative. Super dope. Yeah, that was like, because
it goes back to that food thing.
Bro, I'm talking about people love to eat.
You introduce food into that scheme. Now they say like, oh, I get drinks and I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah,
now.
like
now I can spend the day here.
Now we're good. Like literally day parties. So it was like a day party summer, bro. Almost every day last summer we were just having a ball. Then we get SaziFest. Crazy.
SaziFest. This is summer 2, right?
No, this was my.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this one.
Fortunately, when this comes out, SaziFest will have already happened.
You know, unfortunately, but
SaziFest is coming up. But so first one, talk about planning, because it's one thing to plan events. It's another thing planning a festival.
You know, it's crazy. Last year, I can't even say I planned SaziFest. It was so random. It was 2 weeks out from my birthday. Everybody kept asking me what you want to do. I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw a festival 2 weeks out. Like, who do I think I am, right? So I did it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to put it on this day. I reached out to a whole bunch of vendors. I ended up getting so many vendors. I probably had, 8+ or something like that. It was a lot of vendors. Artists, so Black Canvas with Tommy. He's a visual artist. And they were doing an event that day. I was like, yo, you want to collab? I'm going to just turn it into a day festival. He was like, for sure. So he was DJing on the inside, and SaziFest was going on outside. So it's like 2 events. Like you're walking, and it's vibes everywhere. And then they have all the visual art. And then I met all these dope people. Then I hit up all the artists. I'm like, y'all down to do this or what? Everybody was like, yeah, we got you. J Mart X. I hit up Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi DJ the first half. Collective Chaos the second. It was dope. It was a dope experience.
It just kind of falls into place.
It just fell. Like,
yeah. Okay.
I just did it.
Same time. Was it the same time? Right?
It was around the same time. Yeah. Last year was actually on my birthday.
Oh,
okay. It was on a Sunday. Yeah. No, my birthday is the 30th.
Oh, okay. For one reason, I don't know why. I thought it was all this week, but it's all next week.
It's all next week, yeah. Okay. It's my birthday the whole month of June.
Yeah. I got you. Okay, so yeah, we started getting to SaziFest. We lead in, because now we're, June still?
Yep.
So, all right, July through December.
Cookouts, day parties. We love the day party. Like, I'm talking about, had so many of those. That's what kind of the community aspect came in, because before House of Art, from what I had seen, had not experienced that. So it changed the trajectory of what was happening. It changed the type of people that were in the establishment, and it kind of changed the vibes, right?
Well, instead of it being a nightclub, so to speak, or a bar, it becomes all day. Yeah.
Like, it's like you might come to House of Art at 2 p.m., right? And we got vibes. Like, so it was just like, it changed a lot. But yeah. That was that. I made it my goal. I'm like, we gonna turn up this summer for sure.
Okay.
December was different too.
Like, yeah, because that's St. Nick's, and that's the second year of St. Nick's. So it's like,
I think they had more years than that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I know the year before was like the pop-off year.
Yeah.
That was when it went viral and all that stuff on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then, so I know when they did it the second year, it was like, all right, we have to do it big. And yeah, shout out to Julie.
Yeah, literally shout out to my girl. Sweat
and tears.
Julia she put so much work into that place, bro. I really commend her for all the work that she put in. She's super talented too. That is my girl. Left her down.
Yeah, shout out Julie. And
shout
her
out
painting.
Literally.
Yeah, go get a commission.
Go get a commission from my girl. Facts. Literally facts.
But yeah, okay. So then we hit January.
Yep.
Shit hits the
fan. That was crazy.
Well, I guess I feel like I have to ask about it is, just give me the breakdown of that night.
It was so bad to me.
Because I just feel like everyone sees it from the outside.
For sure.
Everyone woke up and was like, oh shit.
Yeah. So
like, you're getting probably play-by-play.
Yeah, so the crazy thing was I was actually in Alabama. I had took my daughter to Alabama, and I was recovering from the flu. I was sick.
Okay.
Right? So for some reason, I was asleep, and it was super early in the morning. It was probably like 4 o'clock. My body woke me up. I was like, something not right. I checked my phone. Troya had called me. Nate had called me. I had a lot of missed calls. And then they were like, check your phone or call us back when you see this. So I called. They like, the building burned down. Like, I'm like, what? Like, repeat that for me. Like, what did you just say to me? They like, the building burned down. And, at this point, me and the owner had that was my business partner. So I'm like, well, I need to speak to him, or like, what's going on? But there were so many moving pieces happening.
Because I'm sure he's getting the same thing you are. Everyone's getting calls. Everyone involved is getting calls.
Bro, it's just like, it was so much going on. And I'm getting information as they get it, but don't nobody have no information. We're all just what is happening right now? So I wake my daughter up. I head right back to her. I drive to Raleigh. I drive 9 hours back.
Damn.
I get back like midday. I go straight to the owner and try to figure out what's going on. Everybody was kind of there too, like supporting and trying to figure it out. But it was a crazy experience.
Yeah, I was just very curious on the play-by-play of it.
Yeah,
you're like, because it happened so late.
It happened very late.
It's on an off day, so nobody's there. Thank God.
Thank God nobody was there, right? Yeah.
Thank God it was a Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
Because any other day could have been anyone.
People could have been in the building. Yeah.
But yeah, now I was always curious because I was like, I just woke up at like 7 that morning.
And was like, dang.
I was like, oh shit, yeah, fucking, that's all I see.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, okay, okay, cool. I was just curious.
Yeah.
All right. So from your stance, just as far as that, it's like, what do you do now?
It's literally like, what do you do now, or where do you go from here?
Because everything you've done the last, like you said, 2024 is crazy year. Everything year, but at the base of all that is House of Art.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you pivot?
Yeah, so, it's crazy. It took me a while to pivot, right? Because I was very intertwined into the business. And again, like, that was my business partner. So I had to kind of figure it out from there. And there were months I didn't completely separate until, like, March.
I remember we had that discussion.
Yeah, it was around, like, March time frame. So there was a gap of us trying to figure it out and trying to... But it's like, what do you do? Yeah. It's like, what can we do?
We talk about the hardest thing about doing any event is the space itself. So now it's like...
And then it's like, people were doing all these benefits, but we're not trying to seem like, it's like...
It's a fine line between people wanting to help and then... not trying to be
my
like,
stomach
I was
growling.
like, damn. And then not trying, like, it's like, because it's rarely, like, you're not asking for handouts.
You don't ask for handouts.
This was a whole thing, too, we had when COVID hit. And when I was working at a place, and then, my boss was like, we going to apply for the PPP?
Yeah.
Because he was like, we need
we
something.
Got to, yeah.
Ended up not getting it, for whatever reasons. But then I remember someone other down the street kind of thing happened. And we were kind of like, they were like, oh, we need a GoFundMe to help pay our rent. And he's like, what you mean? He's like, pay your rent?
Yeah, it's like.
He's like, yo, like, what you, like, I'm in here blood, sweat, tears trying to pay my rent.
Get it out the field, yeah.
He's like, we over here
just
asking for donations.
Not facts,
so it's like, it's so easy for it to come off that way. But granted, y'all's situation is completely different.
It was very different.
Because it's like, the building doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. And we were grateful. We were grateful for everybody who tried to do that. But it's just like, it got to a point where it's just like, oh, well, we can't just keep doing benefits for the rest of our time.
Because then it's like, now it's like, it's so easy to take away from what else is happening.
Yeah.
Other pieces. And then,
people still have their thing. So it's just like, we just all had to figure it out.
If you didn't do anything, people are still going to be salty about something.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't do anything without
something. You know what I'm saying?
But
yeah, so that was kind of like, that was that gap. So like from January to March, it was just a lot of...
Okay. Yeah.
We don't know. Like, we're just trying to figure... We're just out here. It's our first day out here. We don't know what's going on.
Okay. Well, now we're here.
Now we're here.
Now talk about March to April.
March to April. Crazy run for me.
Is right back to summer.
Bro, crazy run. Like, honestly, March until now has been a crazy one. But let's stick March to April. So March, boom.
Stuff like that was the...
March was like all right, let's take it up a notch, right? Again, so much was intertwined in the House of Art. So I was battling with that for a while, trying to figure out like my identity and all of this. Like, was this me? And I realized it was, right? Like, this was a lot of the work that I put in. This was a lot of the work that like I've done. So that community just followed. They just came right over. Like, it
goes back to it's everything's happening here.
Yeah.
And then you kind of separate just in general.
Yeah.
Because and more or less the space is gone
too. The space is gone, yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, Sazi was one kind of like, and not in charge necessarily, but like is curating the stuff. So it's like, all right, well, what's she curating now? Yeah, because I was like, this ain't here, so we might as well.
Yeah, and I thought it was so beautiful too because it's like I wasn't the only person curating vibes. Like everybody else was able to do like. Yeah. Damien's still going, J-Mar and X doing their thing. Like, everybody's just branching off in such a beautiful way. And it's like, we're all individuals in such a collective way. I think it's so beautiful. And that run from March to April, because we're getting into Dreamville. Dreamville was a crazy run. Like, booked the whole week. Like, that was crazy. So it's just like, once I separated, I just had my foot on the gas because it's like I didn't go back to work immediately. I just recently got a job.
I know we talked about that last time we sat down, where it was like, because I had asked, I was like, "Oh, what have you been doing?" You're like, fucking
grind.
Yeah, I was like, because it's like, it always sucks to do that final, not the stretch, but like trying to stretch that last little bit where it's like, I don't want to get a job, because the moment you get a job,
takes away.
You get comfy, not comfy, but you reel back a little bit because you try to start collecting again. So it's so easy to get the job and kind of pull back
from what you're doing.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, well, we're just gonna make shit work.
We just gonna make it work. And I'm talking about, was just grinding. It was hard, right? Like, it was hard. And I'm not the type of person to talk about the things that I'm dealing with. So I just kind of was going through it, and I'm just working. Like, it was just months of work, really. So then, we got March, April with Dreamville, the Collective Chaos. They performed at the Go Mouth Garage, right? That was a super dope opportunity. I met a lot of cool people out there too.
Go Mouth was always my favorite event every year, because there's so many, because it's like, it's the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of gets to like, it's not calm by any means out there. But it's like, it's chill. Yeah, like shit's popping for sure all the way around, like from the pop-up to whatever.
Yeah, but it's vibes.
And it's like, but you get to meet so many people because everybody's out there.
Yeah.
Because I know Sianka was out there, which I expected, as one does.
Jazz,
and I ran into a ton of people from Charlotte, and so things like that. So it's like, it's just such a easy little spot, and it's all within like a block.
Yeah, literally. We are right there.
It was hot as fuck that day.
It was so hot that day. Oh my gosh.
The whole week was so nice.
It was.
And then literally just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Hot. Literally hot.
Man, I was sweating.
That's crazy.
But okay. Where does True Form?
True Form? I transform Azi Sazi. The collective aspect of it.
Okay.
I transform that into True Form.
Okay.
Right. So it's now more, I didn't feel like Azi Sazi. Like, I don't know. It's just like Azi Sazi sounds like my brand and a personal brand. I don't want a brand that's community based to be revolved around me.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying?
That.
So I was just like, I was like, True Form, that sounds dope. Like, it sounds true to what I'm doing. This is cute. This is what the entertainment collective, or like just the collective in general, right? It's
the one that has other people with it.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't want me. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, who you with? Like, oh, Azi Sazi.
Azi Sazi.
I'm like,
dang,
that's a person,
right? Like, I know her.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like, so True Form is the collective. Azi Sazi is my personal brand. My LLC is actually under Azi Sazi.
And that's with the
events and bartending and all that.
That stuff. Okay.
Yep, because it just all coincides with each other. Yep.
Literary Oasis Project.
Yeah, so shout out to Alexia. She founded her first nonprofit.
Okay.
She hasn't been super active with it, but I'm on her board for that. So that's super dope.
What are we trying to do?
It's a nonprofit for children, to like kids who have problems like reading.
Okay.
It's to help them, right? To like provide books, to provide free like tutoring, things like that. That's where her nonprofit is based off of, in like underprivileged communities. Okay. So I'm super passionate about things like that. I love community-based projects. So when she was like, I need people on my board, I'm like, yeah, 1,000%. Okay. So I'm the community outreach coordinator for that.
Ah, okay.
Makes sense.
No, you're good. I saw it pop up, and I was like, seems something. I was like, let me bring that up.
Yeah.
So then we talk about the cocktails and events, because that's a whole nother thing too that you do. That's just classes. It's classes,
yeah. So I do mixology classes. I teach people how to do drinks.
And I know you and AW just did one, right?
Yes, it was so cute.
So how was that?
It was so cute. Oh my gosh.
So I didn't get to go. So she's still doing the no skips.
Yeah, she's still doing no skips. But we just did a collab.
So instead of the coloring,
we're making drinks.
You're making drinks, okay.
While listening to music. Yeah. And we listened to T-Pain, the album with Bartender on it. It was so dope. It made so much sense. Yeah. It was a dope experience. We did it at Glow Fitness. That's a dope venue. I love working with them.
Dude, first time I went into
Glow. Bro, so cool.
I had seen it so many times from the street. Yeah. I've driven down Wake Forest Road all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, fitness, whatever. And I never thought anything of it. And the outside definitely does not show what's on the inside. You
would never think.
No.
You would never think.
And then when I went to the one with Khalil to help for the video or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was the first time stepping in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
it's
damn.
dope in here.
Well, I was like, it's so big. Because what is the first spot for? Like that when you first enter on the corner?
It's just their lobby.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's just their lobby. They have like an ice bathroom in there and like things like that. But that's literally just their lobby. Then they have the dance room. Then they have the cycling room. And then they have like a weight training room like
that's what I thought.
In the back.
The open garage.
With the garage,
like
yeah.
Okay.
It's a super dope space.
Yeah. It was a crazy space. I didn't realize how expansive it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like you walk. It was one of those you walk in, there's a studio right there. That's everything.
No, it's vibes.
Okay, cool.
Straight vibes. Shout out to Riz. She's the owner. She's super dope.
Yeah, I mean, and then we coming up on SaziFest too.
Yeah.
Literally this weekend.
Yep.
Talk about the planning for this one.
Yeah.
Versus last year, because last year, like you said, I mean, it was kind of felt in it. So so when did you start it?
So I got my SaziFest date really in like February.
Okay.
Right.
Well, because at that point you're like, well, where are we doing it?
Yeah. So it's just because it's like I really had the date before.
Well, yeah,
I pre-planned this, right?
It's around the birthday.
It's always around the birthday. I'm like, instead of I want to do a Saturday this time because people always have work and like things like that. And I know SaziFest is a time. So I was like, a Saturday. I had the date already. Of course, I was going to do it at the venue. But I had to figure out another space. That took a while because I was in limbo for so long.
Yeah.
And I ended up meeting Bev from Congress. And I was like, yo, she has this plot of land in the back of her building. I'm like, I could do SaziFest right here. That makes sense. Cool, let's do it.
Yeah, because that whole area is like, it's so off the path compared to everything else.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have the stoplight a little bit farther. It's got a few things. And then,
it's like
that street to the right, I've noticed, is getting some things.
Yeah.
There's like a pizza spot over there now.
Yeah, it's a really good pizza.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's called Sophia's. It's so good.
Okay. I remember I've driven past a few times and I was like, oh, I don't remember all this being over here.
Yeah.
Which I don't get into Durham too often anyway. But, okay. So, yeah, talk about the plan. So, you find the venue.
Yeah. So, I found the venue. So now I'm like, ooh, where do we go from here? But so this time I wanted to be kind of like intentional about my lineup. So I just kind of asked the people, like the Deviants, of course, I'm a part of them. And those are like that's my literal family. So of course I want y'all to be a part, right? And then Juice, right? Me and Juice, we got closer over the last year. And I think he's a super dope individual. I also wanted to keep it more upbeat because last year SaziFest was kind of like up, down. Like, you know, I'm trying to keep the hype vibes, you know.
That's like the biggest thing too with going shows is like
curation is important.
People don't pay attention to it now, and so when they have these shows and they're like, not necessarily like, oh, why is someone doing this, or like, you know, people coming out for a little bit and not coming back, or whatever. Where it's like, if you can, even if you're building up, that's fine, but you have to like, it has to make sense.
It has to make sense. And I'm like, SaziFest, everybody is already prepared to come lit.
For sure.
Or like prepared to be
something.
lit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, I don't really want to have like any slow singers or nothing like that. So I just started asking people around me and then I got my lineup. They all agreed. I'm like, bet, vibes, cool. Now the crazy thing is we're 2 days out from SaziFest and it's still gradually getting better, right? So like all the things, it's still kind of not last minute, but a lot of things are still happening now. Like Bev hit me, she was like, do you want a horse? I'm like, yeah, I actually do.
One singular?
I do want a horse, actually. And then shout out to Natty. Natty was the one who got me that sponsorship from Don Julio. Because she has a marketing agency.
I got you.
So she just pitched my festival, and they were like, yeah, let's do it.
Also, people really don't realize the sponsorship is not as hard as you think.
It's not that hard. All you got to do is ask.
Ask and have just a little bit of like, this is what we're doing.
That's it.
You know, and then you have to have some kind of proof of performance.
Proof of performance, exactly. People just want to know that, oh, if I give you some money, that this is going to be beneficial for my brand. Yeah,
exactly. Like it's going to do something
for me. It's going to do something for me, yeah.
Because especially with corporations like that. They just want something on the back end. They just want something,
yeah. And so it's just like brand exposure is important to these people, yeah.
Les is doing, I've helped him out and just video stuff, but it's like, we did one show at Poorhouse, got sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's fire.
And I'm like, people, when you think that, you're like, oh, sponsored by Coke, like that's like up here. And I'm like,
fire.
It's really not.
It's not.
It's like you just have to ask.
And you have to have a plan.
For sure.
And
you can't
that's
just
the
go
thing.
in and be like, hey, can I get a sponsor?
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. So once I got the Don Julio sponsor, I'm like, because before I really wasn't thinking about SaziFest as this huge thing. I'm just like, oh, well, we're just going to have a good time.
Well, that's what it was last time.
Yeah. But then it's like, once I got the sponsorship, right, it opened up my mind, and I'm like, no, like I could make this like a yearly festival, and I wanted to do that anyways, but not to this caliber. It's just getting bigger and better. Yeah. So then I get all these people willing to volunteer their time, so I don't have to be doing anything the day of. I have Bev helping me out with like the venue. She has the bartenders and all of that, and then from the sponsorship, it's like I just ask for more sponsors.
Well, that's the crazy thing.
I just ask for more.
When you get the one,
they're like,
now you're like, oh, hey, by the way, you know, Don Julio's doing this. you want to do it too?
And they're like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Don Julio. Yeah,
literally.
For sure. Because it's such a brand name industry with sponsors. So the moment you can get one good one,
they're like,
and then you're basically like, it's literally like, okay, well, they're doing it. Why aren't you doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody loves competition.
Literally. So that's kind of where we are, and it's just getting better. Like, I got people to get water. And then the community, bro, the way they're showing up is so dope. I'm just like, I need fans. Boom, message. I have fans you can use. I need tents. Cool, I got you with tents. It's just like, it's been really easy. And I used to have a problem. Tents, bro, ooh. It's going to be so hot. It's going to be so hot.
It's just this week.
No, I know. And it's like, I got industrial fans.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. We're going to have a little cool-off tent for people to...
Get you some of the Miss fans.
Yeah, ooh, that would be dope. I should do that.
Because, I mean, that's like, it can't be hard. I mean, maybe just the water portion.
Yeah.
That's like what, what's Carowinds got all those.
They do have those. I ain't been to Carowinds in a minute. That's crazy.
I can't do Carowinds anymore.
Why?
I have motion sickness. I found out when I turned like 18 or 19.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like as a kid, going up, just doing laps.
Yeah.
Like get off, get back on. And then I think my freshman year of college, I had some buddies from high school like, hey, we're going to Carowinds. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Went to Carowinds. And I rode like 2 rides and I like tunnel vision. And I was like, and then I felt sick, and I was like, oh, cool, I can't do roller coasters anymore. And I was like,
crazy.
Yeah, literally just all of a sudden. So I don't know when that hit, but yeah, I can't do roller coasters anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
I'm scared of them.
Oh, well,
but I just like going to Carowinds.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Well, especially when you got a little one and stuff like that.
It's a vibe, yeah. Kiddieland, fun for me. I could do that, like great. But roller coasters, I'm terrified of heights.
Okay. All right. So think about this video will probably come out in not next week. So, yeah. What do you have? Anything you want to pitch? Anything you want to present? Anything you want to manifest? Put it out into the world. I guess. I guess that's probably a better way to ask.
That is a better way to ask. I'm like, the crazy thing is, I feel like I'm currently living my dream. I just want to keep going. My dream is to one day have my own venue.
Okay.
I would love to do that. I want SaziFest to be successful, but by the time the video drops, it'll already be out. It will be successful. Okay. We're gonna have a good time Saturday. Yeah, I just want to keep thriving.
Okay. Anything coming specifically that you'd like to shout out? That is after this, clearly, because we can't shout out. We can shout out SaziFest, but it's already gonna be. I was like, so I do have some a couple of dope people I've been working with. So I've been working with the Gatekeep in Greensboro. So Relic is kind of the streamliner for that, and they're doing really dope things. It's almost like DJ sets is the idea, and I emceed their last event. It was a dope venue. Okay. They were easy to work with. It was Boxcar in Greensboro. Oh yeah, the Boxcar in Greensboro is it's like, I don't want to say it's in a strip mall, but it like kind of is. Essentially, kind of, yeah. Because it's on the edge, right? It's on the edge, yeah. But they're like a completely different one than the one out here.
It's so different, and the event space is like separate from the Boxcar. It's so pretty in there. But they had a really dope event, and I have a show coming up with them soon in August, and then I'm hosting an AME block party.
AME? What's that?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what it stands for. I just know it's AME. It's like a block party fashion show type of thing, and I'm working with DJ Roxy. She's super dope. I worked with her before. I really like her a lot. I have that coming up. Yeah, I just been getting booked for like random little things here and there, but those are the big ones I can think about. July, I'm pretty, after SaziFest, I probably take a little second to breathe. Yeah.
So hot.
not as hot. No, it is hot. I just need a second to breathe.
Yeah.
It's just been go. Yeah.
Because I mean, even when we talked last time, I mean, even just grabbing that lunch was like, I think you still have something to do that night.
I did. I had like 3 other things to do.
Okay. Well, I guess the last question for you, is how do you manage it?
Ooh, how do I manage it?
I know they say like, oh, I got to anyway, so it's gonna happen. But like, no, like on a real tip, I don't always manage it well. Like honestly speaking, right? I get overwhelmed and overstimulated very easily. Because it's always something to do, and that gets very tiring. And it's tough to be in the position of like orchestrator.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff ends up falling back to you.
Exactly.
So if there is a problem, it's like, okay, now your problem is also
still have to solve the problem, yeah. But it's just like I do have good counsel around me. I have a good community, and I have people that I can confide in and kind of talk when I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed. I'm really grateful for that. And I believe in God, so he be looking out for your girl. So it's just like, I can't say that I don't, I manage it well all the time. Yeah. But I do have outlets. Okay. And I have things. That line dance thing that I'm doing, it just feels good. That's like a release for me.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, so I just be line dancing the stuff away.
That's really all I got.
Okay. This was dope.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
No, this was good. Shout out Azi Sazi pulling up.
Big
we got
Sazi.
things done. SaziFest has already happened. Sorry, folks.
That's crazy. Hopefully you were there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, tune in and yeah, keep an eye on Sazi.
Yeah, for sure.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was really good.